New York City.
Conrad Rochester, Tony Touch, Voodoo Ray,
Kaheem Johnson.
Okay, my name is Conrad Rochester. You can go to ConradRochester.com. I've been in this business as far as I can remember, the age of 13, coming up, these parties in support, all the great legends and the ones that have passed. What I do now is, based off of that, I realized New York City, the party scene has kind of died out and it's fizzled, but for guys like myself and other people, we have done this with the likes of Tony Touch, Kaheem Johnson, and Voodoo Ray. We've come together and collaborated, and basically we formed this beautiful home for these dancers and the next level of generation of people from the city, from all over. And it's a fresh, upbeat party. We give the likes of all DJs and producers, upcoming and the legends and the ones that are doing it now, an opportunity to play. And it's a beautiful vibe, man, you know what I'm saying? And globally, we're the #1 party in New York City, and we're known in the world. And we want to come hit this world serious with some great vibe and take it abroad.
What's so different about Tony Touch and what he does and brings to the DJ table when he plays music for the crowd?
Well, you're looking at a hip-hop artist, DJ, that's been a pioneer in the game. He's a legend in his own right with all his accomplishments. And basically, asked me to come on board to help him with this. And, I came and checked it out. And what he brings, man, is a good energy. How do you take a hip-hop artist or a hip-hop DJ with all the politics involved with that, dating back as far as the 80s, where, let's keep it real, a lot of the pioneers that made the music, when hip-hop got its right, I'm just going to drop the history and the knowledge real quick because this is all the truth based on the reasons why the scene is kind of dismal. It's been going on for a long time where, the hip-hop artists just forgot about who the real producers making the music. So the real producers said they fell back. But it opened the door for all the next generation of hip-hop artists to do their thing. But with that being said, with Tony bring it back to the forefront and wanted to change. So did I. And other partners like Voodoo Ray and Kaheem Johnson. We felt as together it's time for change, man. New York City needs to be back as far as the forefront of the party scene. And it needs to be done, and we've done the Funkbox, and it's a beautiful thing. We're going on a year and 4 months strong, and we're gonna grow, man, doing bigger and better things. And we have every form of urban dance. We have Rocksteady as hosting. We had the Ninja sometimes as the House of Ninja at one point hosting. We give room for all dances, man. You know what I'm saying? To do their thing, do shows. We had all of them and upcoming. And that's the beauty about this party in the Funkbox and what Tony brings too as well. And me being a partner of it, this is what we do together, unifying all cultures, man. It's a culture.
Why did you come up with the name The Funkbox?
Well, actually, Voodoo Ray came up with the name. It doesn't, I felt that, back in the days, if you look at the parties, of the names, you had area. Area didn't associate, that name didn't associate itself with the music. It was just the name called the area. You had other parties called like Roxy's. Roxy's didn't associate itself to the hip hop world. It was a roller skating rink. So we felt to bring up a name like that, something different offbeat. But today's people, they associate everything on the name to the music, and I feel I was raised off of things that weren't. So it's a beautiful thing when you have something different. People think it's one thing, but when you're marketing yourself and you're building on a brand, that's the thing, man. It could be the smallest, craziest name, but it ends up being a beautiful and big thing. So, we wanted to break out of that, how everybody always segregates the name or puts it together. Keep it different, keep it fresh, keep the person guessing, But if you look at House is funk. House has all of that, you know what I'm saying? You have organic, you have tribal, you have techie, you have techno, but if progressive, all of that comes from what? Disco classics, funk, jazz, and all that other good shit. So, it's about knowing your culture and history, basically.
Sullivan Room is giving you this venue to operate on Sundays. He's giving y'all guys a chance and you run with it. Explain to the people what Sullivan Room is like. I mean, we know that it's a worldwide known venue. But what place does Sullivan Room fall in your heart?
Well, Sullivan Room falls in my heart in the fact that you have an owner that really loves and respects what you do, and he believes in what you do. And this is another important tool for a lot of people that are going to do parties. Find owners that really respect what you do and believe in what you do, because they're going to take the steps and build and the patience to have to grow with you. That's another thing here in New York, because we're living in troubled times. People are desperate for the money, but they don't want to take the necessary steps or don't have the patience because their situation is tough. But when you have somebody that's willing to work with you and believe in what you do, that's why Sullivan Room is one of the #1 places right now, and it's the last of the Mohegans, being an underground spot that you have to go down steps to actually enjoy yourself in New York City. And you know, it's not a big, huge place, but at the same time, it's huge to all these upcoming people. Somebody said something real dear to me, which made a lot of sense, and his name is Bravo. And he's old school, and he said, you know what, in today's world, and these kids today that come to your party, this is their paradise garage. Something that we had, like myself, that I went to back in the day that was upbeat, fresh, and it was rejuvenating. I realized that I wanted to keep that alive because I felt in New York it was dying with these once-a-month parties. But now I've did it with the help of my partners and me creating this. Hey, it's a beautiful thing, and people feel rejuvenated. We change people's lives. They love the party. So that was it. That's the importance of it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, now we have the helps of, you know, Father Chris here, legendary promoter. He's on board doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? We have also Spider. We have Robbie. We have Evelyn Santos. You know, we have a very strong team, you know, that promote. We have all the dancers that help us out. This is another haven for them to come here and do their thing as far as do shows. We help everybody, you know, and we like to give everybody an opportunity, you know, and that's what the Funkbox represents. It represents the future, it represents past and present, and it's about the culture first, you know, and this is what we want to protect, man.
So what is the future for Funkbox? Where do you go in 2010? What do you want? What's your vision?
We have very big things. We want to get more acts, more DJs, legends, newcomers. We want to travel. We want to go to Canada, Montreal. We want to go overseas in Paris. You know, people have been reaching out to us already, you know what I'm saying? We want to go to Greece with it. You know, we want to travel with this and market it in the sense where we bring dances, we bring all of that. And the culture, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's very important that, you know, we do this because we're going to give you something really good and you're going to appreciate it, you know what I'm saying? And with Tony Touch coming up, people sleep on his game. You know, honestly, with all this Serato and, you know, all these different programs, for a hip-hop DJ, what he does on a laptop, no offense to these DJs, but they can't even do what he does, you know what I'm saying? And that's real talk, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, no offense to nobody, I just keep it real. That's always how I keep it, and it's all love, you know what I'm saying? But I got to give it to him with that, and it's always a work in progress, you know what I'm saying? That's the beauty of it. You learn as you go, and he's learned a lot, and he's come a long way, and we have a strong team that we're going to make sure this is right, and this is how we do.
Thank you very much, Conrad.
Thank you. Look out for the company.
Okay.
So, say who you are, what you do here on Sundays.
So, my name is Voodoo Ray, and I'm an event coordinator, promoter / media marketing bull. No, just joking, but I do events and I do parties. I have a Sunday night party called the Funkbox, which I do with Tony Touch, Conrad, Kahim, Lamar, Evelyn Santos, Jesus, Rocksteady Crew, Crazy Legs, and Melanie, and a few other people that are down with the team.
What's the difference between the parties you do now and you remembering back in the days you was going as a clubber from the Wild Pitch and Choice days? What's the difference from clubbing now than today?
Well, right now I would say before it was kind of like the birth of like house as far as the city was concerned, like, you know, like mid 80s, early 80s, house was just like, it was still like in elementary school. Right now house is in college, you know. Back then everything was very family orientated. It was still cliquey, you know, like anything else, but it was very like organic. While today is still kind of that, but because we've gone through different phases of house, and house trying to get to that next plateau of trying to get to where it needs to be commercialized a little bit more and people knowing it, it's always going to be a little different. Now, our room, on Sunday night, it's almost the closest that you can get to like an old school Wild Pitch party, an old school House Nation party, an old school party at Kilimanjaro's. We're not the garage, we're not Choices, but we're pretty close as far as like the energy, with people loving each other, a young crowd, and a lot of schooling, because we're playing a lot of new house music besides a lot of old school joints to take people to school. And basically our core, I would say our age range starts from like 21 to like maybe like 29 as far as the core is concerned. We still got our vets, but we got a nice solid, you know, young new crowd that loves house music to the fullest.
Explain the cultivation of circles.
The circles, just like before, people are trying to earn their stripes. People are trying to get their name known, trying to be a household name and stuff. You know, it just like before and just like today, it gets me upset when the less talented jumps up in there and kind of like breaks the kind of like ill flow.
But I mean, what I really mean is like on a global sense. Like, explain what circles is, and explain what that means to people that never had that experience of knowing what happens when you get up in the circle and things like that.
As far as the dance is concerned, I'm gonna speak for myself. I can't speak for everybody. When I used to get in a circle, it was my chance to show people in a whole what I can do. I'm an old school b-boy, old school popper, and old school house dancer. I used to mesh everything, so it was my forum to show people that I had other dimensions to me, that I wasn't one-sided. It's basically like a stage that you can kind of like demand, and you don't have to be invited, but with your skills you get a chance to like let people know who you are. I feel like everywhere around the world, the circle is the same thing. It's a place where you yourself show your skills, but also you yourself with your peers that hopefully you love. You know, you get a nice ritual going, and you show them how the family rocks together. You know,
how does Tony Touch become the DJ of choice for you, and why is he such an important part of what you do at these parties?
Well, Tony, he's very important in this culture right now. For one, Tony is very well known for hip hop. Tony has put out albums rhyming. Tony has been with Rocksteady for God knows how long, and Tony is hip hop all through his DNA. But he's always been a big lover of house music. A lot of people have slept on him, have slept on his skills. If you follow his CDs, his hip hop CDs, he's up to like, if I'm not mistaken, 90 or 91. In house, he's up to 46. The 46 should be coming soon. Mind you, every year he puts out at least 3 or 4 or 5 CDs a year. So you do the math. He's been in the mix, just people don't know. He's very influential in this scene right now, because what I feel lacks in house is the unity. A lot of people, a lot of DJs and a lot of cliques tend to kind of hold on to what they have and just deal with their circles and no one else. A lot of these circles all know each other, and they may come and support each other here and there, but they never actually join forces to do something big together. And it's needed in this community, because you see it in hip-hop all the time, and house is just as old as hip-hop, just as old. Why is it not, you know, top of Billboard? Why? Because we lack a little bit of that unity. Now, the Funkbox, we're here to show people that you can break the rules. F the rules. You set a plateau, you book everybody that's cool, that everybody's that's humble with no egos. We booked a couple with egos too, but even the ones with egos ain't coming with egos with us. We've been going on for 1 year. We done booked everyone, at least 2, 3, 4 times. And I don't want to like toot my horn, but we've got a pretty solid Sunday night party. Funkbox at Sullivan it's a problem.
What's the vision for 2010 for Funkbox and where you where you want to go with it?
For 2010, the website will be up. For 2010, Funkbox will be putting out music. Funkbox will have some artists. You know, hopefully we have a label. For 2010, we're gonna smash the Winter Music Conference again, like we did last year. For 2010, and we got the captain of the ship right here, Tony Touch, is in the house.
Tony, why go so deep with house? You've invested so much time and effort into house music. Why?
Man, I got records. I got like the first records coming out of Chicago on Chicago tracks. I've been collecting records. Been playing house music since like 86, 87. Always had a love for it.
But why invest in it now?
Now, I mean, it was just, you know, a time where it's all timing, man. It was a void to be filled in New York. I felt, you know, it wasn't being filled, and, you know, the opportunity in the window came, and, God put the right people in my path, like Ray and people like that, and everything just, the stars lined up. So it's 2009 going into 2010. Like a year and a half strong with this party, and I'm just happy to be here, man. I felt New York needed it.
What's your influences drawn from now when you listen to music and when you DJ for the crowd that you play for now at Funkbox? Where's the influence coming from what you hear from yourself or from other DJs that you might have heard?
Just traveling the world, man, hearing all these different sounds is coming up, you know, a lot of, you know, new styles of house being created, like the ancestral house and a lot of tribal and, you know, African influences and stuff like that. So, you know, it's changed. You know, the music has changed a little bit. And, you know, a lot of parties that have paved the way, like Shelter and Roots and stuff like that, you know.
You've been liberal with your music policy. Why do you think that this party is so open compared to other venues that might be seen in the city? What stands out about this venue that, you know, that keeps it so liberal, where people can go from one extreme to the other and not phase the dancers?
Well, we have the dance community behind us, which is number one. Number two, a lot of people that are involved that are promoting have a history in house. We also embrace like a lot of DJs, and you know, it's like a big family party, and it's more like a party for the people. We got guest DJs every week. You know, it's no one person standing out shining. It's like a whole group effort, and a lot of DJs have been coming in and supporting the movement and adding on. So it's like the people's party. It ain't really no one person's party.
If you don't mind me interjecting, also, Sullivan Room right now is one of the best rooms in the city as far as like giving you that feel of like the Choice and the Loft, where it's a little gritty, but the sound system is retarded, the light system is retarded, and all the legendary house DJs right now, from like techno to deep and soulful house, are wanting to play here or have played here already. So I just needed to throw that back to Tony.
Yeah, but Tony, what's the vision for 2010 that you see for Funkbox? What do you see that you'd like to do to make it a global impact? As you know, New Yorkers don't really have a global impact the way that we used to have it in the 90s. And what do you think that can make the difference to bring some, because the audience you have is the future of house right now. So what do you think that you can do to make the difference for what you see globally?
As long as we continue to go on the path that we go on and embrace and invite other DJs to come in and cater to the dance community on a global level and continue to stay in our lane, we kind of like got our own thing over here. So as long as we don't stray away from that, like it's going to continue to develop and grow as the word spreads. So that's where I'm at with that.
We'll have Funkbox clothing. We should have a Funkbox anthem. Like I said before, Winter Music Conference 2010, we're going to smash it again.
Yes, we're going to be out there. Also, we have our sneaker. I made one. Puma.
Not these?
Funkbox. No, not these. I didn't bring them. I didn't wear them.
Okay.
But we also look out. We're going for number 2. We got a Puma out, and with my man over here, Voodoo Ray, with dunks.
Not an actual deal with them. We've customized something that we're gonna tag it as our shoe. You know, hopefully in the future, maybe we can get one of those super sneaker companies to actually do an actual Funkbox shoe.
For
we'll leave that in the hands of the Lord. And
well, thank you very much for sharing your insight, and thank you for bringing your level of house music to New York City.
Conrad Rochester, Tony Touch, Voodoo Ray,
Kaheem Johnson.
Peace. I'll let you boys.